Well, yeah, the story is not the one I wanted to cover. Pixar has laid off, was it 14% of their workforce? Not the 20% they were rumored to, but it's still like 175 employees. It's pretty crazy.
That's a
I reckon they're
lot.
going to just merge animation and Pixar, aren't they? Disney
I
Animation
think,
and Pixar.
yeah, I think,
Absolutely, they are.
yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the only thing they can do now. They're bleeding money at a rate that they cannot afford. They can ill afford this. And consider this, that's 175 people. That's after at the beginning of the year, they got rid of 75 people, including 2 executives. Not going well at Pixar.
No, top leadership isn't impacted, they said. They made a point of saying it.
But you have to remember, they'd already got rid of top leadership. 2 of them, 2 execs, a producer and a director.
True.
Yeah,
True.
wild stuff.
What do you reckon to this, Tom? Get you involved now, mate.
All the big guys are safe, like you said. So what difference is it going to make? So people who actually do the work are losing their jobs. In other words,
Have you? I guess you haven't looked into this, then, have you? You haven't seen it, no?
no.
Because the comments they make are hilarious.
Well, it says top leadership isn't impacted. So in other words, anybody who matters isn't getting fired. So
Nah, it's their coat mate. The layoffs are part of. Oh my god, my mouse. The layoffs are part of this. All right, my mouse. The layoffs are part of Disney chief Bob Iger's overarching mandate to return to a focus on quality versus churning out content for streaming, which was a priority for his short-lived successor, Bob Chapek. I didn't think it was Bob Chapek's focus on streaming. I thought it was Bob Iger's focus on streaming. Tom?
well, that's that's them rewriting history there. I don't know where they're getting that from.
Well, exactly, yeah. Disney executives have talked about returning to a focus on quality during numerous earnings calls this year, saying creative teams across the company were stretched too thin in the arms race to feed streamers. Because apparently they literally turned Pixar into a service, like a series service for Disney Plus, which is what they say here. I didn't realize that. Did you realize that?
Well, when all their movies are going straight to Disney Plus, I mean...
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But they say here, they talk about the bombs and stuff like that.
Which, again, I think most of those happened before Chapek and after Chapek's time, so I don't know who rewrote this history, but Bob did the same thing in his recent... whatever it was,
Pixar received good news last year with the release of Elemental, bearing in mind it cost like $200 million, which earned $500 million globally.
Lost money.
Which is the biggest original animated movie since Pixar's Coco in 2017.
Yeah, it lost money.
Not good. That's not good. But here's the statement, from Jim Morris. Hello, everyone. I've spoken to you many times over the last year about our pending move away from series production for Disney Plus. What do you mean?
What series are they producing? Like, that's my question, I guess.
I have no idea. The return to our focus on
news to me,
and the reduction in our team that would accompany that day is here. And while it is not coming as a surprise to anyone, it is one of the hardest changes we've had to make, as it means we will be parting with a number of talented and dedicated colleagues and friends. Today, leaders will begin the process of notifying employees, blah, blah, blah. Basically just says, sorry, you're being all fired, and none of the top people are being fired, basically. And that's kind of it, really. But when were they doing, like, series? When were they doing series? I didn't realize they were doing series. Apparently they're so bad.
That's my question. Like, what TV shows are they working on that we don't know about? Like, did they hand over all their animation to them or what?
But they're not working on them anymore. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the point. They're moving from
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
To new stuff. Super bizarre. Super bizarre. Oh, I guess that excludes win or lose. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Because it says we'll no longer be focusing on direct-to-streaming series, but on its feature films. What series were you working on?
That's my question. That's what I mean. I thought they made movies. Well, even if they're straight to streaming movies, unless they forgot to put series of films in there or something.
I don't know. Well, weren't they focusing on? Was it Moana? Is that a Pixar thing, or was that Disney Animation?
I think
Okay,
that's Disney actually, but
Because that was
at
supposed
this
to be a
point, what the
series.
fuck's the difference? But yeah,
yeah, I don't know because I don't remember them working on a series.
that's what I'm saying. Unless they were doing like the Star Wars Visions and other things for them or something that I had no idea or whatever the
Visions,
I mean,
they outsourced
No,
Visions.
not Visions. I mean,
Definitely.
the Empire and the other series that just come out.
Yeah, true. I don't think. Oh, I don't know. No, it's
If somebody
Lucasfilm,
knows
isn't it?
out there in the chat, if that's what I have no, I'm just throwing spitballs out. I'm like spitballing here. Like I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what animated series are even on Disney at this point, let alone what ones Pixar would be wasting their time on.
I know you got
Unless-
Pixar making series.
Unless
for
they
Disney.
just
How
forgot
bad
to
is
say
that?
series of films, because there was
No.
like that chunk of films there that were all going straight to streaming. Maybe I have
No,
no
because
idea.
direct to streaming series, but on its feature film. So it's going from series to feature films. So it's not that. It is genuinely a series that they were working on.
Unless
I know
wait,
what
let's
it is.
reread this. There were layoffs all across Disney, but last year cuts. Pixar delayed production because of well, no. Focus on okay.
Yeah, it's literally series. They're moving from series to feature films. Again, it says it.
What series
Even
were
in
they?
their thing here. I've no idea. Super bizarre. Super bizarre. But there you go.
The chat's saying they did an Up and a Monster Inc. show. They did?
Really?
Since when? That should have been huge news.
Yeah.
You know?
Now that you mention it, I kind of vaguely remember a Monsters Inc. kind of series thing, but it was like a mini series. Isn't it?
Wow. Okay then.
That's just not hitting a nerve. I mean, normally that stuff would be
Coco series will be called Caca.
Brilliant.
maybe.
Brilliant.
That's really weird though.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Let me do some quick research.
What do you think? Culture. Yeah, this is the Disney bloodbath. All the chickens are coming home to roost. We'll blame Bob Chapek some more because why not?
Yeah, I think that Chapek was only in actual control of the company for 11 months. Everything that we're seeing, with the exception of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a Chapek product, is still an Iger product. So no matter what Disney is telling you, there wasn't a whole lot greenlit under Chapek. He was probably trying to control costs. The only thing that was getting made were these Marvel series that had already been in pre-production forever. So there's some real weirdness here. But the fact that, again, at the beginning of the year in January, you lost 75 employees. Now you're losing 175 employees. You're paring down because I think you're going to combine your animation units. I think your initial instinct is correct, Mr. H. And I think a lot of us would have jumped on the same thing.
Here's what they've been working on.
All right.
We have, first of all, experimental shorts they've been sending to Disney Plus. And they did a series, like they said, for Monsters Inc. called Monsters at Work, and Toy Story That Time Forgot. And Doug Days.
What on earth are all these things?
And Win or Lose is an original show. It's not a movie. It says here.
Wow. Okay.
There was also Cars on the Road, which must have been a spinoff of Cars.
They've done all these things, but no one knew about it.
I had no idea. Yeah. Because I was like wondering, well, maybe they did like the Marvel stuff, like the Groot stuff, but I don't even see that here. But I'm like, nope, it's this shit that nobody's ever heard of. Wow. No wonder they're not going to concentrate on it no more.
Wow. Monsters Inc. was huge back in the day. Why does
now I do vaguely remember the Monsters at Work series being announced, but I don't think it has Sully or what's his face in it. So Mike Wazowski.
Who cares about that then?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just set in that world.
Oh god.
The Cars one, I think it did say it was about Lightning McQueen, but I highly doubt they got Owen Wilson doing his voice for a series. Maybe.
Jesus. Hemorrhoid hurts. Pissney's demise fills me with glee. Is that wrong? No.
Oh.
No, not really. Although I do want them to make good stuff again. I maintain that. I do maintain that. But wow, that's bad, eh? Well, there you go. I mean, I don't have too much else to say on this. It's just part of Disney's demise, I guess. What do we reckon?
Look, they don't have anybody creative there anymore. Pete Docter should have been relieved of duty after, the last failure.
We'll even learn that Brad Bird isn't even that great anymore.
Yeah, well,
the stuff that he's worked on the last few years has sucked.
Yeah, and again, I mean, they got rid of the guy that put together the last film that failed. But I'm sorry, Elemental did not make money. None of this stuff is making money. Nobody's turned on by any of these things. And the fact that ticket prices are jacked up is hiding the fact that they're not putting butts in seats for anything. And none of us heard about any of these TV projects. So Disney Plus is obviously a dud. So, they're bleeding from a lot of different wounds right now. And it's
they're telling me in the chat that Owen Wilson did do the voice for that. So that means it basically was a de facto Cars sequel then that they made a series.
Wow.
Okay. Did not realize that. Well, there you go.
Normally for their TV shows and series like that, because they did have like a Cars series from before, I think, too. But I don't think they had any of the voices except for Larry the Cable Guy in it. Remember right? And they did a bunch of shorts with Toe Mater as well.
Toe Mater. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's bloody crazy. Well, there you go. We will shuffle on from that now.